Hi everyone, this is Colleen. I wanted to share my latest finished project here. I'm very proud of it and real excited. I'll be hanging it probably in my living room and already entry, and I'm really excited. I saw this on a store website and I fell in love with it, but it was on a larger canvas than the one I picked, and maybe a little bit bigger, the pattern or the dress itself, but I decided that I can make it myself because it was too expensive for me to buy. And let's face it, it's fun to create things ourselves because you take great pride in doing the work and showing your work. My husband, he made the pattern for me because I'm not good at that. So he was kind enough to make the pattern, and this is like the body of it. And what I did is I painted the canvas with folk art linen paint that I purchased over at Michael's. I also purchased the canvas over at Michael's. They were 50% off, and the dress that online was made with newspapers. I don't know if they were vintage or not, I don't remember, but I have large books with local newspapers that were from the libraries, local libraries, and it's like a week's worth of newspapers and these neat books at the Longest Yard sale. So, and the papers, we have 3 of them. The papers that I used are from 1935. We had one that was from 1928, and I can't remember the other. So that's what I used for my dress. So it's vintage and cool at the same time. So I'm going to zoom up here on this. Okay. So what I used for the arms is part of the stock pages. I like the print because a lot of it had ads and different things, and it was difficult. Now there's a crease on that arm because there were creases in the newspaper. So I wasn't able to make it perfect, but I'm very pleased with how it turned out. I also just used black cardstock and used the linen paint on the edges to to coordinate with the dress. And maybe they used some cream cardstock down the middle. I couldn't find any I liked that matched, so again I used my paint and I just laid the paintbrush down the center to make it look like a strip instead of cream paper. And I thought it turned out actually really well because it's perfect. It matches the rest of the canvas. Let's see. Then of course I painted the edges of the collar with the paint. And these are some vintage buttons that I got here at the flea market at yard sale. I don't remember. I have a large assortment of them. And on the belt I just used some more cardstock, painted the edges. They're not perfectly straight. Painting is something I'm working on and I would like to improve on. So you got to do it and practice to get good at it. So that's what I'm working on. So anyway, I painted the edges, and then I have a vintage belt buckle that I adhered there. So mine has some 3D images and the one at the store did not. So anyway, I'm very pleased. And I think it's adorable, and most of us would love this in our scrap room or anywhere you want to incorporate in your house. You could use fabric, you could use scrapbook paper. There's endless ideas of what you could do with this, but I wanted to share it with everybody to inspire you and give you ideas for your own. The dress itself, let me go back here to the skirt. It's actually 7 little pieces that are the same shape that I overlaid too. I wanted to mention that. So I mean the dress part is 7 pieces that I just laid one over the other on the bottom. and I realized that the dress is slightly shorter on the left, but it was hard to get even. So like I said, you gotta remember with art and crafting is that you get better with it over time, and if it's not perfect, so what, as long as you love it. And so really it was just 7 pieces for the dress, 2 arm pieces, and a body piece, and that was it. And then I added the cardstock for a collar and buttons and belt, and painted the canvas. It was really neat. I had a lot of fun, and I think it's cool that I was able to do it with vintage newspapers, which adds uniqueness to it. And I hope you like this, and please leave a comment. Thanks. Bye.